morning, guys.
Hola, buenos días, everyone. How are you?
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Welcome to Cafecito and Crime.
Yo soy Estela.
This is Queen Barb. Today, I'm going to be a queen today.
Okay.
Yeah. Every week is something
different.
Whatever. Well, let's see. What are we going to be talking about today?
So, like
also,
Barbie said,
there might be a little bit of extra noise. I'm so sorry. My sister is here from Dallas.
Yay.
So she came to visit with my nephew, and so the kids are just having the time of their lives.
Being
apparently.
kiddos.
Being kids.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit nasally because my allergies are kicking my ass. So
as soon as my sister came in last night, she was like, "Man, this shit sucks. There's allergies everywhere, bitch."
No
yeah,
shit. It's Houston.
That's what Houston gives you. Yeah.
But let's get started. So we're gonna be talking about Kenia Monge.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard this case before.
I don't think I have. I'm trying to think about it. No, I don't think I have.
For this week's case, we're going to go to the state of Colorado.
El Colorado.
Wow,
okay. What we got in Colorado?
It's mostly like the Denver, Aurora area. And the fun fact is that the first person to ever trademark cheeseburger was from Denver.
Wow.
Now I want a cheeseburger.
Yes. Definitely cheeseburger.
His name was Louis or Louis, one of those. Belast, who operated the Humpty Dumpty Barrel Drive-In.
Humpty Dumpty
Barrel Drive-In.
That sounds like a little catchy.
He acquired the trademark for the cheeseburger on March 5th, 1935.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is such a cool thing to know.
Tidbit.
We learn so many things and everything.
Random shit.
It says right here. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be talking about
Kenia Monge. Okay. So grab your cafecito.
Got it.
Let's get started.
Cheers. Clink.
Kenia Monge was born on January 26, 1992 in Honduras. Her mom, Maria, was only 15 years old when she had Kenia. So her father wasn't in the picture. So there's no information on the dad. Not that we care anyway. He wasn't involved. Maria migrated to the U.S. in 1993 when she was 16. And Kenia stayed with her grandma, Maria's mom. She was working towards being able to bring Kenia to the U.S. también. So when Kenia was 12 in 2004, her mom was finally able to bring Kenia to live with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kenia was integrated into her new family. Her mom, Maria, had met and married a man named Tony Lee, and the couple had 2 kids together.
Okay.
Kimberly and Anthony.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So it was the 3 kids in the family now.
Okay.
The family settled in Aurora, Colorado, which was just a little over a 20-minute drive from Denver. Tony recalls Kenia being shy at first when she met him or when they met each other, but she warmed up to him, and then it started, he was like, "So can I call you dad?"
Oh,
and
pobrecita.
He was like, "You can pretty much call me whatever you want. If you want to call me stepdad." And he was like, "Well, I don't see you as my stepdad. I see you as my dad."
Pobrecita.
And he was like, "Well, then that's what, you can call me that." And then he was like, "Thank you, daddy." And I was like, "Oh,
that is so sweet."
So he raised her since she was 12.
Yeah. But sometimes it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, exactly. So Kenia was his daughter. Like she was Tony's daughter. She was also close with her siblings, and she was especially close to her sister Kim. They were literally best friends, talked all day, every day, blah, blah, blah. Sister shit. Kenia was described as just like a bright light in her family. Yeah. She was bossy. She was kind. She was beautiful. And she even taught a Sunday school class at the local church, which she actually she's the one that made it happen, that class.
Oh, she put it together.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And after she graduated high school, she enrolled herself in college, and it said that she wanted to do something in like broadcasting or like wanted to be like a producer or a director. Like she was really into that kind of stuff.
Well, she could have helped us a lot because we are lost half of the time.
In early 2011, when Kenia was 19, she decided to move in with her boyfriend named Leo. They didn't seem to have the healthiest relationship and were kind of toxic together. So this made her family not really care for Leo in their relationship. That always happens
that way, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was her decision. She was working, she was going to school, she was 19, so they respected whatever she wanted to do. Mm-hmm. They were like, okay, cool. At that time in her life, Kenia liked going out to party, going out with her friends, hitting up the clubs, 19-year-old shit,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
And on Thursday, March 31st of 2011,
Yeah.
that is exactly what Kenia was doing.
Out in the club, shooting, having a good time with their friends. Okay.
She and her friends were out for a girls' night, and
That's my favorite, dude. I love girls' night. Well, I don't really have any, but once in a while when I get at least just dinner, it's awesome. And everybody should have at least one girls' night a month.
So the girls were out for a girls' night, and we're hitting up the bars. Kenia was wearing a black skirt with a black jacket and red high heels.
She's my
in 2011.
Come on,
I mean,
she was making it happen, black on black and red, girl. Yeah. You know how that rolls.
They all have fake IDs. They were all underage.
Yeah.
That night, they went to go smoke some hookah, and then they headed to Lodo, which is lower downtown Denver. That's what it's called. And it had like a good nightlife scene.
Órale, Lodo.
The girls ended up at 24K Lounge, which is an over
24 karat magic in me. Okay,
it's a 24 Bruno Mars
concert here.
Barbie Mars.
Yeah, that's what. Call me from now on, Barbie Mars. 24 carats.
So they're inside the lounge. They're dancing and drinking, having a good time. 2011, no.
Oh, now I'm by Bunny.
Bad Barbie.
But yeah,
with the names.
With the names.
So like around 11, it said that Kenia gets up from the table and she tells her friends that she's going to go to the bathroom or the restroom, I'm sorry. And she leaves her purse and her phone, which is weird because even when I go to the bathroom, I fucking take my phone anyway with me. I don't know,
but in 2011, like you were a little bit more like...
No, I always had my phone on me, like wherever I went.
Yeah, your little flip phone?
My little flip phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't know. And
maybe she didn't even think about it. She just like, I'm going to go to the restroom.
She's a little tipsy. Ya ando media entradita. So let me just go real quick. No me va a tardar.
So Kenia gets up and leaves, and her friends never saw Kenia ever again.
What? No mames, what the fuck?
The next day, on April 1st, which was Friday, Leo, the boyfriend, calls Kimberly and asks her if she's talked to Kenia. And he tells her that she never made it home from the night before, and he hasn't been able to get a hold of her. Kim was like, no, I haven't.
But check on your friends, dude. How the hell do you just leave the club without checking on your friends?
Exactly.
Like, if you were your friend, go be ¿Dónde? Ella se tardó esta güey, vamos por ella or something.
Well, maybe they did, and they just didn't find her, and
But what do you think? Oh, she just left everything, I don't know.
I get it.
Don't be trash, please.
Yeah. So Kim is like, no, I haven't seen her. But he was like, are you joking right now? Because it was April 1st. She was like, are you playing a joke? He was like, no. He was like, I'm not joking. He was like, I promise. And he was like, and I've talked to her friends that she went out with the night before, and they don't know where she's at either. And they haven't been able to get a hold of her.
Holy shit, man. This is scary. ¿Y luego?
Yeah. So Kim le cuelga a Leo, and she calls her dad. And Tony's at work, and, he gets concerned right away.
¿Y por qué este pendejo no le dijo a nadie que she was missing también?
Because he thought que iba a llegar.
Oh.
It was already like 1 p.m. cuando le habló a Kim. Okay, where's your sister? She never made it back home.
Just so, he should have called the cops.
Well, they had a toxic relationship también.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ya me está cayendo gordo and I don't even know him yet.
Tony gets concerned. Porque Kim, like I said, Kim's always talking to Kenia. And it was like, kind of like early afternoon. And Kenia hadn't talked to her and Maria hadn't talked to her. Alarm bells started going off in his head.
Shit, if I don't talk to you personally or one of my sisters, like at least. My other sisters, they're a little bit okay. The other ones, the younger ones. But the older ones...
Si no te mando un meme?
Si no me mando un meme, this bitch, I'm already fucking freaking out.
You're like, did you die?
Are you dead? Now, my sister-in-law, the other one, like, todavía we don't talk to her as often, pero, like, literally, if something is not right, like, I would know immediately. Even before this bitch will tell me. Like, this morning, we're so connected that this bitch, I was like, are you on your way? And she was like, I'm literally typing your text message to tell you. Yeah, I'm
texting you.
I'm going.
So, like I said, she talked to Kim and Maria multiple times a day on the daily. And the fact that neither one of them had heard from her, he was like, oh, shit. So, Tony le habla a la policía.
As they should, yeah.
Yeah. And they tell him, because she's 19. It's
Otra
common.
Vez, we hear this all the time.
Yeah, like with Rachel Barber, Pero esta está un poquito más grandota. She's 19, they're like, oh, she'll come back. This is very common. It hasn't even been a full 72 hours.
Dude, they need to do better.
Give us a call on Monday. See if she doesn't come back. And then we'll look into it.
That's a lot of time. No.
Yeah. And it's not true that you're supposed to wait 24 hours or 72 hours. You can report somebody missing as soon as you notice that they're missing.
Did you research?
Yes. That's true.
Is it just everywhere?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, even at that, like, even if they're just, like, how are you going to be like, oh, they're going to come back. Don't worry about it.
You don't know that person.
Like, yeah.
The parents know the person.
Okay, we're not going to go through that. Okay, remember the last rabbit hole we went on?
Okay.
How pissed we were?
Meanwhile, Kim and Tony reached out to her friends. Yeah, le habló a la policía. They told them what they told them. And they called her friends that she was with the night before. And they were told, the same thing. Se paró. She went to the restroom. And then she just never came back to the table. And they didn't know where she had gone or where she was. And Tony was like upset. Like you said, how are you not going to check on your fucking friend? I never go anywhere without, if I'm going to go to the restroom, one of my friends goes with me, like, especially at a bar. No, at a restaurant, yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm just going to fucking take a pee real quick.
No, but literally, like, I don't know if maybe people have learned a little bit more along the way, maybe because we know that people are trash out there. But dude, if you're going to go somewhere, go with some. All the girls go to the restroom together. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what I'm saying, yeah. We go take selfies in the fucking restroom. Well, I don't, but other girls
do. I go pee.
No, I really do need to pee.
Yeah. Like I said, Tony was upset and they were like, yeah, she left her shit at the table. And he was like, okay, do you have this stuff? And they were like, yeah. So she left her purse, her phone, and her car keys.
Let's recap, sister. I'm gonna be a bitch right now because I'm in that mood.
I don't think you're being a bitch.
I don't understand how the fuck do you think, oh, my friend didn't come back. Let me get her shit and take it with me.
Yeah.
With her car keys and her fucking purse and her cell phone. Like, que pinche pedo. O sea, ve, búscala. Where did she go? Why is she not here? They should have called her parents then,
Yes.
Or be like, hey, ¿sabes qué? Maybe they thought they were going to get in trouble. Don't be scared, please.
Because they were underage drinking and shit.
It doesn't matter. You really, I promise you that your parents would rather hear what you're doing and that you're safe than not hear that you're not doing it just because you're trying to hide something.
Yes,
I promise.
It's worse.
Yes.
It's worse.
It's worse.
Yeah. And, Tony found out because none of them knew that Kenia had a fake ID and that she was out drinking and stuff like that. So they told him, and, like I said, he was upset for that reason también. So Tony was like, can you bring me her stuff? So vienen friends. I think it was two of the friends that came and left her shit. And, they seemed very apologetic.
Apologetic? What the fuck you're apologizing for, bitch? You better be out there trying to look for her.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Hold on.
Oh.
So.
Ya ves, ya me enojé. Chingado.
It's upsetting. So Maria también, she came home from work and they knew her passcode to her phone. So they were able to look through her text messages. And, there were texts from her friends asking her where she was. Leo had called her and, messaged her asking her where she was. And if she had made it home and, all that stuff.
How the fuck are they going to text her if she made it home if they had her cell phone?
Leo didn't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Leo. Okay, I thought you meant her friends. I'm like, pinche pendejas.
And then they see a text message from an unknown number.
Okay.
That says, hey, this is Travis, the guy who gave you a ride last night. White creepy van. Did you get home okay? So they're like,
what the hell?
They're like, who the fuck is this person, right? Or this text message from? Who's this Travis? Tony calls the number a bunch of times within the next 24 hours. I think he said that he called it like 20 to 25 times.
Damn.
Left voicemails, sent text messages. Nothing. So then Kenia's friends all start getting together and the family, and they make posters and start printing them out and start passing them out in the downtown area and, sticking them up on places. Kenia was about 4'11" to 5 feet tall. She was tiny, dark hair, dark eyes, and she weighed about 90 to 110 pounds. So she was little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And it isn't until the next day after that, on April 2nd, that Tony finally receives a call back del número que le había mandado ese mensaje a Kenia on her cell phone, the unknown number. Tony answers, and, it's obviously Travis porque es lo que dice el message. Hey, this is Travis, blah, blah, blah. And le pregunta a Travis, he's like, hey, do you know what's going on with Kenia? Like you just said, you gave her a ride last night, pero yeah, we don't know where she's at. And Travis tells Tony that he was like, yeah, that he was dropping off one of his friends at his apartments in downtown Denver. And that he saw Kenia talking to a homeless man and that she seemed like a little bit drunk or whatever. And that he asked her if she was okay and if she needed anything. Y que dijo que Kenia le dijo que sí, that she needed to get back to her friends in her car and that her friends were at the club and that she had gotten kicked out of the club along with some guy because they were being disorderly on the dance floor.
What?
He was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a ride, Yeah, she gets into his van, and then he said that Kenia asked him for his phone, and he let her borrow it, and she called her friends, pero nadie le contestó. And then he was like, hey, if her friends aren't answering the phone, he was like, I could just take you home. She was like, okay, and gave him her address where she lived with Leo. And then he was like, oh, that's actually not far from where I stay, or like my job. He worked at a bakery. It was like a mile. They were like a mile off or whatever.
I have questions.
Yeah, hold on.
But I'm going to let you finish because I have a lot of questions.
So on the way, Travis says that Kenia asked him for a cigarette.
Okay.
To calm her down because she was a little bit anxious, and that he told her that he didn't smoke, but that they were passing like a gas station, a Conoco. He was like, okay, well, I'll go buy some or whatever. And that they pull into the Conoco, but it was closed. So, but that they also see a man outside smoking a cigarette. Kenia se baja and asks that guy for a cigarette. This is all according to Travis, right?
I was about to say, okay.
Okay. Que el señor, the guy, gives her a cigarette.
Yeah.
And they start smoking. And that I think they start walking off a little bit and sit on the curb. And that she starts talking to him, and they're talking in Spanish. And that this guy's name was Dan. Travis, he's like, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to go? Are you going to stay? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that Kenia le said that she wants to stay. Y que Travis says that she looked comfortable with that guy. Like I said, they were just conversating. And that, so he was like, okay, cool. That he left and that he went to his girlfriend's place.
Oh, Travis is trash too.
Yeah.
Because how the fuck are you going to just go ahead and leave this little person, obviously drunk. Obviously, she's not in her four senses. Because she had one sense because she stayed out there.
Oh, yeah, because she, yeah.
And then you are going to just leave her. And just leave and be like, okay, gotta go. See you later. Because you want a cigarette. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have questions right now, immediately.
Travis Lace tells this story, these events to Tony. He was like, and I just left her there, and I left. I just didn't. That was it.
Let's take a quick break.
Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser! Taser! He's going to shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shots fired!
Stay out! You got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
I need to know what happened between the restroom and how she ended up with Travis in the van.
Yeah.
And I also need to know how Travis found out what her phone number was. Did she give her your phone number? Like, hey, let me give you my phone number. Text me, call me if you want to, whatever.
Yeah.
Pinche possible. But what I'm saying is, like, I need answers. Yeah. Like, I need to know. Pinche
stupido. To them, the story seemed kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too far-fetched because Kenia did smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And Kenia was very friendly. And Kenia did speak Spanish.
Pues sí, pero I mean, even if she spoke Spanish and shit, that doesn't mean that that's what you're going to go off and do when you're drunk.
But like, I watched
an
an episode. It's called Text Me When You're Home. It actually came out this year. It's on Lifetime. And it was about this episode on Kenia Monge. And her sister Kim, she was like, I wasn't too far-fetched because she was that type of person.
She believed it. Okay.
It was like, it was weird, but wasn't like completely off base, know?
Okay. All right. If they say that this sounds like something she would do, pues órale.
Tony keeps asking Travis questions. By this time, Maria's already home también. He was like, what direction did they walk? She go in? You said that they were walking off somewhere. Do you know where she went? How did this guy named Dan look? Blah, blah, blah.
And how did he know? Oh, my name is Dan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
Travis just tells Tony, he was like, look, bro, if you want, we could just meet at this gas station. It was a Conoco, like I said. And Tony's like, all right, cool.
We'll meet there and I'll show you where she went. Okay.
So before he walks out the door, Tony goes and grabs his fucking gun.
Ah, pues sí, porque pues he's gonna be ready.
Well, yeah,
if anything pops off, you know.
Maria's like begging him. I'm like, dude, don't go. Like, we don't know who this person is. We don't know if he's fucking telling the truth or if he's a dangerous person.
A ese momento tú ya lo que quieres es saber información.
You want
sobre
answers.
Tu familia.
And since, Maria's like, let the police handle it. And Tony's like, well, ellos no están haciendo nada. They're not gonna fucking do anything until 72 hours later. And like you said, I need answers now. So he se va de la casa. He leaves. And Maria, super worried, you know, she calls the police.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, my husband, he's going to go meet this person. This is going on with my daughter. And my husband took his gun.
She calls the police and they're like, meet him there or whatever.
So by the time Tony gets to the Conuco, the police is already there. And I saw Travis, right?
So they got Travis there. Yeah. And the police is there.
Yeah.
Llegó Tony. Okay, got it.
So the police were there before Tony got there. Tony gets on one side and Travis is on the other side. Like, there's two patrol cars. So one patrol car is with Travis and the other one's with Tony. And, you know, they tell him that his wife called them and explained to them what the situation was. And like I said, since Travis was there, the police ask him some questions and they search his van and they get his permission to do so.
Yeah. So le dicen, can we look into your stuff? Okay, got it.
They didn't find anything unusual.
En la van.
They just, you know, took Travis' statement and he was free to go. And they, you know, the police officers come and tell Tony, you know, we looked through his shit, you know, we took his statement, but he wants to come and speak to you. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And vino y le dijo, he was like, hey, I'm really sorry that I left her, that I didn't take her all the way home. He was like, I honestly didn't think anything, you know, was going to happen. And then they shook hands or whatever. And Tony was like, well, it was like, in a way, he was like, I appreciated that. Travis looked like if somebody was going to pick up Kenia in the middle of downtown and give her a ride, I would have wanted to be somebody like Travis, because Travis was like clean cut, blonde hair, blue eyes. He was white and he was like over 6 feet, you know, he seemed genuine.
Like he seemed like he was really trying to help.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was that, you know.
Pero
they
you
shook
never
hands.
know, porque las apariencias engañan,
güey. Güey, ojos vemos, corazones
no sabemos. Like for real, like you never know.
So pasaron los días and the family finally receives a calls from the missing persons unit on Monday. April 4th. They asked Tony, hey, regresó Kenia? And they're like, no, we've looked for her. We haven't found her. So that same day, the FBI gets involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah, because she's a missing... she's over 18, but she's still a missing person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the FBI gets involved. People start getting interviewed, starting with, you know, the boyfriend, Leo, and he was cleared. Detectives are out looking for her too. You know, they start searches. Y nada. So then the police go to the apartment complex that Travis said that he had found her out talking to that homeless man. And they check the surveillance cameras. And sure enough, you can see a video of Kenia entering the loft apartments, that's what they were called, at 2:08 in the morning, walking with the male who was identified as Chad Davis. Chad gets interviewed, and he tells the investigators that he met Kenia at the club and that they were both kicked out because, you know, they were being unruly or whatever on the dance floor. They walked back to his place, and he tried to convince Kenia to stay. And they went up to his place or whatever. But she was like, no, you know, I need to go home, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she leaves. She was only there about 5 minutes. And in the camera, you can see her leaving. So it corroborates his story, you know? So they also get surveillance from a hotel across the street from the apartment complex. I keep saying complex, loft apartments, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's complex.
Yeah. Kenia walks there after leaving the lofts. And she goes in and uses the restroom or goes into like the restroom area. And then she leaves. And then walks back to the lobby entrance of the apartment, the lofts. And then there you can see her talking to the homeless person. Do you think she was like
that drunk, or do you think she was like something was given to her?
They do say that the way that she was acting, like that Kenia knew her limits when she was drinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and do you think I mean, porque todos sabemos. Like,
yeah, because, and that her friends said that, dude, we all drank the same.
Yeah.
For her to be acting the way that she was acting, like, for her to be kicked out of the club for being, like, unruly, like, no, it didn't make sense. So they do think that maybe she was slipped something into her drink.
Which happens all the time. It happens all the time. My deal is I still cannot get over the fact that from her leaving her purse and her phone to the restroom, all of this happens.
Yeah.
Like, how did nobody see this? If they got kicked out by the club, people are looking over there. You're paying attention. How her friends didn't see any of this shit? Like, I cannot believe this.
I don't know how big 24K Lounge is.
I mean, 24K Lounge sounds like you're just lounging.
Yeah. But you're never just lounging.
I know, but what I'm saying is like...
It's like a small place.
A
like
small place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, si estás haciendo... Porque yo soy metiche a la verga. Like, yo soy bien pinche metiche. I'm like, oh, ¿qué está pasando acá? Oye, ¿qué pedo aquí? So, like, me, like, I would have been, like, on it. You know? Especially with my friend. Like, how in the world did... I'm just still stuck on that.
Yeah.
Because
I
I'm
get
like, no entiendo cómo sus amigas y rivales, apparently, y bien pinche novela and shit, didn't fucking pay attention because she was getting kicked out from the club. Mm-hmm. Like, how?
I don't know.
I need answers.
I don't know what to tell you.
Go ahead.
So she walks back to the entryway of the loft apartments, and there she's talking to the homeless man. And then I believe that is when Travis sees her, and that he offers her, you know, the ride or whatever.
So then she went to let me read to, just to make sure I got it straight. She went to the hotel para hacer del baño.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So de los apartments, she walked out of the guy's apartment.
Yeah.
Y luego she's like,
walked across the street.
So walks across the street. But like I said, something must have happened because she was that just doesn't sound right. You're just wandering around at 4 and 2 in the morning. Like, what the fuck? Entonces vas al baño, and then you're like, oh no,
Let me just go stand back outside.
And then you start talking to a homeless. Like, what the fuck?
He said that the homeless man came up to her, like, you know, and there's survey. I mean, you can see the videos. It's just, you can see her. Then she kind of like walks off a little bit. So they think that's when Travis is the one that saw her and told her she needed a ride. So that was April 4th. On April 5th, Monica Poole, the owner of Debbie's Bakery, which was where Travis rented space from, called the police.
Andaba el muchacho trabajaba en la panadería.
Yeah, and you see, Travis is 31-year-old baker. He made gluten-free granola bars.
Es todo, el gluten-free.
Which were called Forbes. You know, because his last name's Travis Forbes. So they're called Forbes.
That's nerd
That's
vibes.
That's his business. Vibes. And he'd sell the Forbes to other businesses in the area. So he would make them and then deliver them in the morning.
En la van.
En la van blanca.
En la van blanca.
Sí. Okay, back to Monica Poole calling the popo.
So Monica Poole calls the popo.
Yeah. She tells him that she has like a interesting story to like tell the popo. And she begins by telling them that she suspects that one of her employees was stealing money de su register.
Okay.
So she went through her footage to see a ver si encontraba algo, and she found it unplugged. She went to plug it in and rewinded the tape. And on the screen, she saw Travis walking in with the white cooler that had black tape on it. And he took it inside of the walk-in freezer.
Ya no me gustó este pedo aquí.
And what was weirder was that cuando somebody would walk into the walk-in freezer, Travis caminaba behind them into the walk-in freezer.
O sea, de metiche.
Yeah, de metiche.
Okay.
He was also seen carrying a roll of carpet from his van and then walking back to his van with a bottle of bleach.
Ya no me gustó este pedo.
También, she, again, on more tape, she sees Travis walking into her office and unplug the recorder while he was wearing yellow cleaning gloves that went all the way up to his elbows.
Andaba en el cleaning moments.
Yes.
Like
and
TikToks.
The footage was from April 1st.
Okay.
Monica told the popo that Travis was not scheduled to work that day.
I was going to say, porque ponte a pensar, if you were going to sell Forbes, if you're going to sell Forbes, if you're going to sell Forbes, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people needing Forbes
gluten-free granola
bars on a Sunday. Because this was a Saturday.
And this was 2011.
Like...
No, this was April 1st was Friday.
Okay, Friday. Okay, pero vamos a hacer... She went out on Friday night.
No, she went on Thursday
night to hacerse Friday.
Yeah.
So then, like, ya hace el weekend. Like, yo no creo que anden los Forbes a las 4 de la mañana.
Tarde. If he delivers them in the morning.
I don't know. I don't need gluten. I don't eat gluten-free. I used to, but not now. Pero if I did, I don't know. You tell me, guys, if anybody's gluten-free out there, do you need your Forbes? That importantly.
I think Forbes, any type of Forbes are accessible way more now than they were in 2011.
Exactly.
So you just go to the grocery store and buy some.
You can just go to the grocery store now, pero back in the day in 2011, if y'all remember, did you need your Forbes a las 2 de la mañana?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure because am I the only one that sees?
No, this was en la tarde.
Por eso, pero why was he out en la madrugada?
Exactly.
Like, ¿qué andaba haciendo el puto?
He was dropping off his friend at the apartment complex.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Según él.
Detectives then called Travis in for a formal interview. Okay, lo sientan en un cuarto y todo.
They're like, no, bitch, we're going to bring your ass back para estar seguros porque ya no les gustó.
And he sticks to his story.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend, Carrie, also gets interviewed, and she corroborates lo que le había dicho, that he came back home after dropping off Kenia, which I think they said it was like 3 a.m. or so. And that was that, right? She corroborates his alibi, blah, blah.
La girlfriend.
La novia.
La novia, uh-huh.
The police get a search warrant for the bakery, but no encuentran nada, like in the freezer or anything like that. But in the back, they find a 55-gallon barrel where it's very noticeable that things were burned adentro de él.
O sea, creía pinche narco and shit, burning shit in barrels. What the fuck?
They find a burnt zipper that looked to have been on black clothing inside the barrel.
Ay, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it.
So they, conduct interviews with like neighboring businesses. And a couple of owners, or one of them, tells him that he saw a barrel being burned by 2 men later in the evening of April 1st, and that a white van was parked nearby. Another person tells him that they saw Travis on the afternoon of April 2nd, which would be Saturday, limpiando a large white cooler in the back of his van.
Y no tenían like
In the
cameras
bakery.
back there? No había cameras? No había nadie que tuviera cameras in the back of the bakery. Okay, got it. Okay.
The Popo then agarra una warrant for Travis's van. And when they search it, they don't find anything, but it smells like a shit ton of bleach.
Pues sí, güey. O sea,
¿Cómo no?
¿cómo no? Y además de eso, el bleach huele like for días. It's not like something que huele y luego se quita.
No.
No.
And the tires were caked with dirt and grass and shit, which suggests that it had been driven in a rural area. And to me, that's sus. I'm sure to you, that's sus.
Bitch, you already know all of this is sus to me. Everything is sus.
I think to the listeners, the 3 of them, that's sus.
The three, hey, 3 guys.
But that's not enough to arrest someone,
That's not enough.
No.
That's not enough. I don't know if it's just me or does anybody, and I know it's like me probably being extra fucking true crime, but has anybody just walked around and looked at people's tires? Is it just me? To see if they have like a lot of tierra, like I'm like, oh shit, this bitch is doing this, or oh shit, like I don't know, it's probably just me. Like that TikTok de que, oh, I have an alibi. For what, bitch?
I'll have receipt.
I have a receipt.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I'm like, you can tell the time? Okay, because I wasn't doing anything. But I really wasn't doing anything.
We don't do nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be seeing the tires and I'm like, ooh, look at there's tire tracks.
I do always think that, like when I'm driving somewhere or like on the freeway and I'm like, does anybody have somebody in their trunk? Like, how would you know?
You wouldn't know.
¿Verdad?
No. Tienes razón. But you know how all of those movies that que según like the people que they're stuck in the trunk and they're trying to get out? Like, I'm always, why are we like this? Because then we put extra stress on our brains.
Yeah.
That we don't need.
You never know,
That's true.
Anyways, pero back to story, sorry. They also get a warrant for Travis's phone records.
Yeah.
From April 1st to April 8th.
Ya pa' ahorita, the FBI está como que algo hay pedo aquí. Hay pedo. Porque, ¿cómo se llama? Agua que lleva piedras río suena o no sé qué pedo. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just made that up. Anyway, go ahead.
So his phone pinged on April 2nd. I believe it was like in la madrugada hours, at a small town 41 miles northeast of Colorado called Keansburg.
Okay.
It was a rural town. They go up there and they conduct an extensive search, but they don't find anything.
Oh, bitch, what the fuck? They need to test you know what they need to do? Test the tire dirt.
To see if it matches.
But
But if he goes up there and then he finds anything.
Bien pinche CSI.
So by this point, Kenia's disappearance is all over the news. Her missing persons poster is all over Denver. And Travis is known as the last person to have seen Kenia alive. So
because he's saying que this guy that he found on the streets, que se fue con él.
Yeah.
Pero they don't know. And his name was Dan.
Yeah. So, the public knows that, Travis was the last person to see her alive. Mm-hmm. And they know that he's a person of interest.
Yeah.
He's not a suspect. He's just a person of interest. And el güey gets an interview.
Oh, ándale.
Sí.
O sea, se cree pinche star de la TV and shit. Okay, pues.
He pretty much says something along the lines of, I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. And since she's disappeared and no one knows anything. And this interview, like he's like, it's so surreal, and I'm sorry I left her there, and I didn't know she was gonna disappear.
Is this your Travis sound?
Yes.
Okay.
And I should have done more for her. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, all that jazz. And empieza a llorar también el güey así, like,
No mames.
sí, como que los ojos se le ponen rojos.
Oh my God, bien pinche.
And he gets really emotional.
Bien pinche Marimar.
And then at one point in the interview, this bitch, asshole, is like, he's going to say something. And then he was like, what was her name again? And the reporter's like, Kenia. He was like, yeah, Kenia. Todo pendejo el güey.
Estúpido, baboso, pendejo.
Like, and Tony in the episode that I watched, he was like, he knew her name. Her story was all over Denver at that time. There's no way that he was like, he didn't know her fucking name, Pinche pendejo.
Estúpido. I'm going to look these people up. ¿Y luego?
The detectives también are searching for this Dan person, right? Of course.
Well, see, I mean, they still have to see to make sure that they can,
Exactamente. Because, he was like, maybe if it doesn't lead anywhere, but we have to look into it. So they're looking out for Dan, but they don't find anything. Now, while all of this was going on, también there are search parties happening. Strangers are joining and, in the search efforts. It's by this point, it had been weeks, maybe even close to a month, ya que Kenia se había desaparecido.
By the way, guys, I just looked her up and she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen somebody I've seen her before.
She had literally the 2011 eyebrows. Like she was on trend.
Her side bang.
Her side bang. You remember you had side bangs?
I had side bangs.
Anyways. But like for real, like the overplucked eyebrows, like that was us. Like literally 2011, big time with con los streaks, the blonde streaks and shit. Pero, oh my God, she's gorgeous. She is gorgeous, pobrecita. This is crazy.
When Travis had gotten formally interviewed.
Oh my God! Oh, sorry, guys. There's a picture of her in her man's. But remember those pictures that we? Oh, pobrecita, dude. This breaks my heart.
Yeah,
people are trash. Y luego?
So when Travis.
Oh, what's up, Travis?
When Travis got formally interviewed that first time, he had told detectives, they told him, they were like, hey, we need, would you come back for a polygraph test? And he was like, yeah. He was like, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll come back. Well, he never did. And after he gave that interview, it's, like nobody heard from Travis. Like he fucking disappeared.
He was like, bye guys. Peace. I'm leaving. Ya me voy. Pues te estoy diciendo, he thought he was he probably ran to Mexico.
Yeah. That was until May 4th when Travis lo arrestaron in Austin, Texas, after an ex-girlfriend of his called the police to report that her car had been stolen by Travis.
Oh my God, guys. This is some shit.
So,
in Austin, Texas. We don't do that in Austin. Everybody in Austin is vegan.
Yeah. So the detectives working Kenia's case fly out to Austin and interrogate him there about Kenia. And they also question him about the burnt barrel that was found in the back of the bakery and the white cooler and everything else on surveillance tapes. And he pretty much had an excuse for everything, And I guess he finally realizes that it's in his best interest to just shut the fuck up, right? Because he says he wants a lawyer.
Oh, that's if people probably already know this, but that's the way of
don't ever talk to police.
That a criminal will be like, I want a lawyer. Yeah. That's how they'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna say shit, and then it's over because
then they start saying shit, and then they say, no, I want a lawyer.
Yeah, I want a lawyer, and then they'll be like, yeah, I'm fucking with you guys. Yeah.
So they tell him okay, but they also had managed to get a warrant for his DNA.
Okay.
So, he shuts up, but they managed to get his DNA.
I wonder what happened to the other girlfriend that she probably just broke up and left. I don't know. I wonder, what happened with her in Colorado,
Yeah.
Did she just was like, no,
Or maybe they're still together and he just stole that car and went to Austin. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just out there stealing cars and shit. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? I did see a picture of him. He does look like a Ken doll, big time. Like a American man with blue eyes,
blonde hair,
nicely tanned, you know. American
like
person.
a regular person, not that,
not a Caucasian person. I don't want to say
regular person.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like a typical
American man.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was somebody that was todo pinche macuarro and shit. You know, he was just a person. Yeah.
He's arrested in Austin and he finally gets extradited back to Colorado at some point in June. So he was in Texas for a little bit. But on June 30th, which is my brother's birthday, he gets released after the exnovia drops the charges.
Ay, estúpidas, ¿por qué hacen eso?
So he's free. Yeah, he's free, right?
Leave them in jail, guys. Please. They have to learn their lesson.
Yeah. Lydia Tillman was a 30-year-old woman who had just moved to Fort Collins a month prior. Fort Collins is in Colorado.
Yeah.
She lived alone in her apartment, and on the night of July 4th, she was walking home from watching, Los Cohetes, the fireworks show in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And she was being followed.
Uh-oh.
Pero ella no sabía.
Okay.
So, she's walking to her apartment complex, and she's like about to open the door when she gets attacked, and she gets pushed into her apartment. Mm-hmm. And inside the apartment, Lydia fought her attacker, but
is she the boss bitch of the story?
Yes,
boss bitch of the story.
Boss bitch, yes. So she fought the man hard, but he did end up like brutally, like sexually assaulting her and like beaten beyond recognition. And I think she had like a shattered jaw, a severe head trauma, and she was strangled.
This motherfucker.
Yeah. And then she was then doused in bleach, and her apartment was set on fire.
Holy shit.
So la dejaron ahí por muerta,
Yeah, that's crazy.
And bitch, I don't know how, but like badass bitch chingona vibes. Like Lydia came to, and she got to a window and jumped out of the second floor.
Oh man, Lydia, a round of applause for her.
She broke her ankles.
I don't give a fuck. You can break whatever you want. You better keep going, bitch. Yeah. Oh my God.
Firefighters and police, got to the scene and she was transported to the hospital and she couldn't speak. Pero she kind of answered a couple of questions with like hand motions.
Uh-huh.
But not long after arriving at the hospital, she suffered a stroke and she was in a coma and was not expected to survive.
Holy shit. That is, we need to find a boss bitch in every story, and this is her.
Yeah.
She's the boss bitch of the story.
So since Lydia had fought her attacker, she managed to get his DNA under her fingernails.
And by now we're in 2012?
22. No, it's just July 4th, 2011.
Okay, so this happened in 2011. I always think that whenever if I ever get attacked, I'm gonna be.
Me too.
I'm bitch. I'm gonna try to take out your eyes, and not only that, I'm gonna try to pull your tongue out,
push your eye in.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do whatever I can. I'm gonna do.
So the detective over Lydia's case, her name is Detective Jacqueline Shackley.
That's a badass name. I'm sorry, Jacqueline Shackley.
Shackley, it like flows.
Badass.
She contacted Detective Guriel. I'm sorry, I probably should have said his name earlier. That's a detective over Kenia's case. Y le dice, hey, I know you guys are keeping surveillance on a man in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
And can you guess who that man is?
Yes, I can probably guess.
Take a guess.
Travis
Forbes. Yes, Travis, bitch. So,
he wasn't making, ya no andaba haciendo granola bars?
No, gluten-free granola bars, yeah.
Ya dejó el business?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why.
After his charges for the car that he had stolen were dropped, he made his way to Fort Collins, where he was actually from. He was from Fort Collins.
Uh-huh.
It's like about an hour and a half north of Denver.
Okay, so he went back to Colorado after he stole the car in Austin. He
went
fuck
back.
This shit. These people in Texas are fucking crazy.
No, well, he got extradited to Colorado.
Well, he got extradited, yeah.
And then he was set free, and then he took his ass to Fort Collins.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So the detectives...
I forget that, like, I don't know, guys, if y'all forget too, that sometimes, like, states are bigger than just one city.
Yes.
Like, for example, you'll be thinking, I know that's probably stupid because, like, I mean, we live in Texas and Texas is so big. But, like, a lot of people, like, in, like, for example, Colorado.
You don't live in Colorado.
That I don't live in Colorado, like, oh, wait a minute, there's something else besides just, like, Denver? That's stupid. Or, like, for example, like, Tennessee, there's something else
besides Nashville?
Than Nashville.
Yeah.
There's something else besides the Queen's house over there.
Dolly
Parton, girl. Mm-hmm.
So the detectives in Kenia's case had tracked him to Fort Collins and were keeping taps on him, because
they got to keep taps. They have to make sure they...
So Detective Jackie tells the detective, Guriel, that they have some DNA.
They have some DNA. But they don't tell him... She doesn't say what kind of... Like, okay.
And then Detective Guriel says they also have some DNA. So they send them to get tested to see if they're a match. Okay?
Yeah.
So meanwhile, those results are, come back. The police, like I said, are keeping tabs on fucking Travis. And they see him walking behind a girl. And I believe it was like when the bar time, like 1, 2 in the morning when bars start letting out. Because Fort Collins is a college town. So there's like a lot of young people, like a bar scene in downtown area, like trying to like walking behind her and kind of starts talking to her and kind of like leading her off of the lit sidewalk area. But the police, are like seeing this and shit.
Oh, they're watching him. They're surveillance.
Yeah.
Surveillance.
Y vienen and they come up to them. And they start asking Travis preguntas. And, they ask him his name. Y les dice al police officer his name is Travis Kennedy.
Oh,
and that
Travis Kennedy.
Y que no tiene ID. He forgot it.
Oh.
And, blah, 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 blah. And la muchacha que estaba, right there, she ends up walking off, because they weren't really asking her questions. They were just asking Travis. So ella se va.
Ella se va. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah. So then, le pregunta esas cosas a Travis, and the police officers were like, pues aquí ya se fue, pues ya. También lo dejan ir a Travis, Sorry. And then again, like a little bit later, again empieza a seguir otra muchacha.
Este güey.
Y esta muchacha, she looked drunk. And the police are like, hey, he's following another girl. She looks intoxicated. And they tell him, you know what? Arrest him because he told you that his name was Travis Kennedy. And he's fucking lying.
You can use that. You can use that, yeah.
Yeah. For giving them false information.
Not only that, but they could probably arrest him and be like, hey, you know what? We need to find out what your name is.
Yeah.
So come with us, porque si no le va a hacer algo a la muchacha, you know? Uh-huh. Well, I mean, any person that's following a drunk person, because we know they're not in their senses, like, you need to go to fucking jail.
Is that he gets arrested for giving the public false information. He gets taken to jail.
Yeah.
And he was about to get released on the evening of July 11th when the results come in for the DNA test.
Oh, it's because
it's a match.
Gotcha, motherfucker.
Got him. He gets arrested and is charged with attempted first-degree murder, sexual assault, and arson for Lydia Tillman.
Good. Yep.
So Kenia's family, gets the news about Travis' arrest.
Yeah.
They had like the news story de lo que le pasó a Lydia. They had seen it on the news because it's all over the place, but they didn't connect. That's in Fort Collins. This happened here in Aurora, Denver area. Like, they didn't connect it. So Kenia's family gets a call and be like, hey, we arrested Travis for this, blah, blah, blah. He did this to Lydia. And they're like, well, fuck. If he did this to Lydia, like, more scared of what could have happened to Kenia.
Yeah. At this point, they probably still feel that they can find her.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the last
said that
hope.
he knew that she wasn't alive, but the mom and the sister and
I was going to believe that she was alive until I see a body.
Yeah.
Bitch, you're going to have to show me something.
So like you said, they were still holding up hope that she was alive out there somewhere. So Travis is, shitting bricks because he knows that he's not getting out of it anymore. And when Detective Guriel, I hope that's how you say his name, I'm sorry, person, meets with Travis, le dice, hey, for Kenia's case, we got you on Lydia, but this is all the information that we have on you for Kenia's case. So, talk to us or, we're going to go to trial or whatever, blah, blah. And then Travis agrees to talk, but on some conditions.
Of course, because they're all fucking trash.
They all have fucking
Pinche
conditions.
Perro. No, perros are better than you.
Yeah. The conditions are that he cannot be labeled a sex offender.
Oh, wow.
Because we know what happens to sex offenders in jail.
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, guys, guess what?
He offended somebody sexually.
He needs to get
And the death penalty has to be taken off the table. And at the time...
That's kind of weird because usually they want to die.
No, not this one. Because he's a little bitch.
Oh, he's a little bitch.
Yeah.
No, sí. Pero I'm just saying, usually,
No, I think that was just Israel Keys that wanted to die.
No. But, I mean, think about it. Like, a lot of the people that are like, bitch, I'd rather die than be in jail. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know.
But that's why he didn't want to be labeled a sex offender and be in jail.
Pues sí, pero como quiera, he's going to be in jail.
Yeah, but not labeled a sex offender.
I think that I would have done it anyway. I wonder if police can just say yes and then do it anyway.
Because they have to cut the deal.
They have to write it down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. So
I would be a bad policeman. I just want you to know that.
At the
I would
time...
be like, sí, güey, sí, está bien, pero dime lo que quiero. Y luego, no, I'm going to fuck you up.
At the time, Colorado did carry the death penalty, but they don't anymore. I believe as of March 2020, they took it off.
Why they take it off?
I don't know. Ask political people. I don't know. The state representatives. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to write a letter. Yeah. I need to find out.
So the detective agrees. They cut the deal, and Travis starts talking.
What this motherfucker have to say?
On September 7th, Travis leads detective to a rural area in Keensburg, which he had gone to. Remember, they tracked his cell phone there, where he had buried Kenia's body.
Oh, I didn't want to hear
She was buried about 5.5 feet down, and she was in a fetal position.
Did he bury her alive?
No, he strangled her. Oh, wait, hold on. We'll get to that. Tony was notified, and then he notified the rest of the family.
I can't.
You can imagine how that went. After they found her body, then Travis tells the police what happened that night, according to him, right? Travis
Allegedly.
dice que he did pick up Kenia and offered her a ride because we did see on the video that she was talking to a homeless man, and that when they were driving, que se durmió. And then he climbed on top of her to rape her. And that she woke up and started fighting him off and hitting him. He choked her. And then he put her in the white cooler that was on surveillance that he was seen on the cameras, which was in his van.
Rewind. So he's going to rape her. She wakes up. She's like, no, motherfucker, we're about to fight. So
He chokes her.
I mean, we go back to the same thing. We make our own decisions. You could have stopped. You could have let her go. But that's just me. I don't know.
But you're not a murderer.
But I'm not a murderer.
Yeah,
so. I murder cucarachas. I'll tell you that much.
He-
The flying ones, bitch, though.
He put her in the white cooler that was seen on surveillance, which was inside his van. He kept it inside his van.
Yeah.
He takes a cooler into the freezer in the bakery, which was on video, then took Kenia's clothes off and burned them in the barrel.
Okay.
He then took Kenia out of the cooler, washed her with bleach, and then washed himself with bleach. And then he cleaned out his van and washed it with more bleach.
This motherfucker bought a lot of bleach.
He likes bleach. I think his name should be Bleach. Travis Bleach Forbes.
Yeah.
So Kenia was buried on Friday, September 16th of 2011.
Well, at least they got a body.
Hundreds of people showed up, and
Yes.
her friends or family wore pink and black since those were her favorite colors. And then some wore Hello Kitty because that was also her favorite.
Oh, she was a Hello Kitty
Yeah.
fan. That makes her even better, dude.
And Kim, her sister, said this at the funeral. She said, and I quote, "I'm not saying goodbye. I'm saying I'll see you later. I'll see you when God calls me home with you. I don't quite understand why you had to leave us so soon, but God always has a purpose. And I'm not going to look at this as a loss. I'm going to look at it as a gain. I've gained a guardian angel that I know I can trust. Rest in paradise, big sister. See you when it's my time. I love you, and you are always and definitely are missed."
Amen. Yeah. Very well said.
Tony started a foundation in Kenia's name,
Oh,
and the foundation helps families of missing people.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So on September 26th, Travis pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Kenia Monge, to which he was sentenced to life in prison. He then pleaded guilty to the attempted first-degree murder of Lydia Tillman, to which he was sentenced to 48 years
Good.
in prison in October, which is the following month.
Just in case he doesn't live long enough, then there's an extra 48. Nada más.
Yes.
Por si las dudas.
He said in court, "Why do I do this? I've been searching for it also in my heart and soul. I think we commit violent acts because deep down we find hatred of ourselves.
Fuck
I am
you.
so thankful that Lydia Tillman survived, because if I hadn't been caught, I probably would have done this again, because deep down I'm fucked up. I'm evil."
No shit, pinche puto.
And yes, bitch, Lydia Tillman did survive.
Damn, dude, she's a fucking boss bitch. Wow. That bitch, she threw herself on the second floor where her fucking apartment was burning, bitch.
And she had been strangled. Her face was broken. Like, her head was like...
I can't believe it.
And she was in the courtroom that day. And
Good. She was like, motherfucker, I'm making sure you calm down.
she couldn't talk, but her statement was read. And
I would have typed that bitch.
yeah, she said, "Travis Forbes, you caused me no harm. My spirit, my soul, and my mind remain untouched. May you find peace in this life. It was my intention to find the strength in my heart to forgive you, Travis Forbes. I did. I felt extreme anger toward him, then I felt sad for him. He must be in so much extreme pain to so brutally hurt another human." So,
Fuck you, Travis Forbes.
yes, Travis Bleach
Bleach
Forbes.
Forbes. Fucker.
She actually, like, I found her on Instagram, and she looks like she's thriving and shit.
Really?
She became a yoga teacher.
Yes,
She found yoga.
Yoga's so awesome. Yoga is awesome. If nobody's practiced yoga, you should do it. I'm trying to get my sister Vanessa to do Chivo yoga, but she's not.
She also assisted in a Colorado Police Department with teaching self-defense classes.
Good. That's awesome. I think that's a big thing that I feel like everybody should, at least every woman should at least one time take a self-defense class. And it changes your life. It changes your point of
perspective.
view, your
Yeah.
perspective. Honestly, I feel like that's a big,
Everybody should.
everybody, even men too. You
Yeah.
never know. Like, you know,
Men get attacked too.
all the time. Yeah.
And the Monge Lee family met Lydia. And Kim said that when she hugged her, that she felt a connection, and she felt that she was hugging Kenia.
Oh,
And that she just broke down. Which imagine, because if it wasn't for Lydia, like they wouldn't have like had anything on him to really pin him for it.
No, because he was trying to burn her.
Yeah.
He was trying to burn her. If she wouldn't have thrown herself from the fucking...
She would have died.
She would have died.
Yeah. And you want to know who else got jail time? La novia de Travis. For fucking lying. Remember, she corroborated his alibi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she gave Travis his alibi.
She fucking should. I feel like the people that help him should go to jail too. Yeah, definitely.
Phone records show, when she said that Travis had been at her house like at 3 a.m, que había llegado, phone records showed that Travis was not at her house and was nowhere near it. She only got 60 days in jail, but
hey,
something.
Algo leve,
And 4 years probation.
No, still, bitch. I hope she's still in probation right now. Stupid pendeja. And it goes on her record and she can't get a fucking job.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't have lied. You understand the hurt that this man caused these people?
I mean, somebody said on the episode, that's not the only thing I watched to get information from this, but she was like, if she would have opened her fucking mouth and say, he didn't come.
He didn't come.
Like Lydia,
Lydia wouldn't have, yeah.
And then I think her dad, Tony, estaba diciendo that she thinks that he's a serial killer because, I mean, he must have been doing this shit before. It's not
for him, and
he actually did have a criminal record from Fort Collins, so he used to get in a lot of trouble growing up and stuff like that. So
you know what kills me that I cannot get out of my mind, and I know that we're done, but I'm just wanting to say this: the fact that he went up to the dad and told him that he was sorry for what he did.
And he was crying on camera.
He was crying.
Well,
no,
they
fuck
do that.
The camera shit.
They do that.
I'm talking about the day that they were supposed to meet
at the
up.
gas station,
and at the gas station, and that he took him over there, and that he was like, "I'm so sorry, I could like."
He's a sociopath.
Like, I cannot believe you have the fucking balls.
No, dude, people do that shit. It
That's
blows my mind. Oh,
crazy.
there's people that like they se meten into the investigation and are out searching, helping search for the people that they fucking murdered.
I don't understand that.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, I really don't.
Do that?
I don't understand
but
that.
It says that they like to do that because it's like they're reliving the crime that they did, which they get off of, So like they immerse themselves into the investigation.
Dude, if you like, I'm gonna need you to go
those
and
people
find
are
something
not,
else to get off on something, because I honestly don't understand how people can be so evil and get
people are
excitement over somebody else's. Like, come on, dude, let's be better people. Like, come on,
don't be trash. But people are trash.
People are trash.
People are
dude.
Dumpster fires. I mean,
dumpster fires.
I don't know.
Can't. And bleach. Like, I can't.
Yeah, this motherfucker was a dumpster fire with bleach.
And this motherfucker was selling. You imagine those people that were selling his fucking granola bars and shit. I
wonder how successful that was at that time.
Probably not successful at all, but I hope not. I hope he didn't make a fucking dollar. But still, like, I'm just saying, like, was he like? My question is this too. Also, like, I wonder, what was it? Something that he was just out there looking for someone? Why was he out there like that? Like, I don't know if he just kind of fell apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? What was he doing? Was he at the club? Like, I don't know.
No, he was dropping off his friend.
I know, but still, like, all of a sudden.
It was like an opportunity, like a crime of opportunity.
Like,
yeah, he was like, oh, she's there. Maybe he thought she was going to have sex. He was just going to rape her. And if she, I don't know.
He didn't have to kill her. I'm just saying. I mean, I know this sounds horrible, but, I don't know. But anyway, and then from there, he probably liked what he did, and then he went for the other girl.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the first time he's done that.
I don't think so, because for him to be that cold, I really don't think so. I really don't. And then that stupid bitch lying for him. I can't believe it. But anyway, thank you guys. That was the end of the episode today of Kenia Monge.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. All the R.I.Ps to her. And thank you for listening to us. We appreciate all of your support for the 3 people
that listen.
We appreciate you.
And you can follow us on Instagram at
Cafecito and Crime Pod.
Or you can send us an email to
at cafecitoandcrimepod@gmail.com. We're getting it together finally. Also, please leave us a message if you like. Leave us a comment, whatever. Y'all know what to do. Actually, we're coming up in October.
Yeah, when you get together.
So we need to get together on October cases. So if y'all have any suggestions, send us a message. Thank you so much for listening again and for your support. We love you. Gracias.
Bye.
Hasta luego. Bye.